Don't stagger at this, church. Because this is true in all times and seasons. This is true. The Word of God is the only thing qualified to judge someone's heart. And it's the only thing qualified now, and it's the only thing qualified 50 years ago, 7,500 years ago. The Lord gives us another century. It will be the only thing qualified to judge a person's heart, to be able to divide to this point. Some people call it the sword that heals. This word doesn't change. You do. Society does. Circumstances do. People's reactions to you might change. But the Word of God does not change. And friend, this is what we need to judge by. What I'm talking about is you preach the Word of God. What I'm talking about is you live the Word of God. I'm talking about you share the Word of God. And all of a sudden, the Word of God does the judging. All of a sudden, the Word of God calls this murder. The Word of God calls this blasphemy. The Word of God, He calls this idolatry. He says this is what salvation is. This is what happens. This is, how Jesus moves. This is what comes out of people. This is how people really do change on a fundamental level. This is what a church should be like, what a church should look like, what a church should prioritize, what a church should function. This is what the service is. It's all in the Word of God. And so the Word of God just sort of stands there, if you will, and acts like the Word of God. In all times, in all places, in all seasons. And it judges the thoughts and the intents of the heart, the human will. It judges what you go after. It judges what you don't go after. It judges what you love. It judges what you hate. It judges your motivations as a human being on the deepest level. And church, this is a great encouragement because, politics ain't the answer. Economics ain't the answer. The judicial system's not the answer. Protests and riots in the street, they're not the answer. Threats are not the answer. Rounding up all the bad people and getting them away from us, that's not the answer. But the problem is a lot of people trying to make it the answer. And slap a Christian bumper sticker on it. But friend, the Word of God is the answer. It always has been and it always will be.